As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
NFL players. Now, this was announced a couple of weeks back, and we didn't mention it, but the NFL salary cap has skyrocketed, and it is massive this year. $255 million, up 30 million from the previous year. I guess there's some COVID stuff, that they deferred some of that, and all that's coming online, and they had a huge revenue season last year, and leads to a massive, massive salary cap. 255 million a team. You also add in some of the numbers that go to retired player benefits and stuff like that. You're talking about 329 million a year right now for their total player cost. 10.5 billion across the league. Think about that. If you go back 20 years ago and tell the players that your share of revenue is going to be $10.5 billion, it's incredible.
I'm going to be the first to admit I like to think I have a decent general knowledge of the salary cap. When I saw this, my initial reaction was, is it really that big of a deal? Because now it's just, if you're a free agent, I suppose you're looking at the situation like sometimes you just have to have good luck with your timing with free agency.
Good point.
And there's some guys looking at this going, yes, thank you. And their agents are going, yes, thank you. But I wonder how big of a deal it is in the front offices. Does it really drastically change how they're putting all the pieces together for the roster and the flexibility that they create? Because a lot of people don't realize you don't have to spend the entire cap.
Right.
If you're the team. So I wonder
There's
if
a
there's one
floor.
team going there. Now there's a floor.
I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's gone up. It goes up in, as the top goes up. But I mean, you're able to add a superstar player.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty big.
So it is going to be interesting. And we may not know, free agency starting soon, but we may not know the overall implications of the jump in the cap until the season starts. And you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, this had a massive impact. I'm just not smart enough to figure out and predict what could happen as a result of this huge increase. But I know it's great for the players, which woohoo.
I know one thing that's going to happen is that franchise tag number over the next couple of years is going to be going through the roof, which, I think puts the pressure on the front office. If you're going to franchise tag some of these guys, it's going to be much more of a decision, or at least look like it as you move forward, and these free agent deals are going to go up. I mean, there's going to be, I would imagine, a spending spree with this much extra money pouring into the system.
Yeah. That's the assumption, but you never know.
You never know.
That's why it's interesting. But yeah, I'm shocked. The NFL is doing really, really well financially. This is my shocked face. How much has anyone written the how much credit does Taylor Swift deserve for the jump in the salary cap piece yet? Is that one already out?
I've seen references to it, and I've seen articles, but I have not read the full, and it's substantial. It's substantial.
USA Today, is Taylor Swift behind the NFL's unprecedented salary cap increase? Already written. As predicted, already written. There you go.
There's definitely a piece of it. How much? I don't know, but definitely a piece.
Oh, another one. Taylor Swift should be thanked by the NFL for its salary cap surging to 255 million. Claims the league insider after her Travis Kelce romance brings new fans to football. She certainly didn't hurt. I agree with that. She didn't hurt. I mean, yeah, I'm on board. The NFL should thank her. Way to go, Taylor.
I'm sure they have thanked her. They may have thanked her beforehand, according to some people, right?
Oh,
No,
this all goes back to some free agent going to Travis Kelce and be like, "Hey, man, you know what would help the cap? I'm about to be a free agent. Hey, I'm just saying."
let's go. This could spot. That would be now if the NFLPA was that ahead of the game, that would really be something. That'd
Yeah,
be impressive.
no doubt. All right, who do you have as your loser of the week?
Denver Broncos.
Ooh,
Denver Broncos are going to release Russell Wilson. Um, he's going to be able to sign wherever he wants, and they are going to take a massive cap hit. Uh, it has to probably be considered the worst contract in NFL history on the team's side of things. They gave him a massive contract extension before he ever played. They gave him an elite quarterback contract extension. It never showed up in his play on the field. They've had to release him now, and they take the cap hit I mentioned. Here's the worst part about it for them, though. They're starting to say there's a chance that maybe he ends up in Oakland or somewhere.
Vegas. Love that you still
Oakland,
called Oakland.
God.
Love that.
Vegas, and you could have a division rival paying their quarterback a minimum $900,000 contract, and you have to pick up the other 38.3 million or whatever it is and pay him to play against you. It's a horrible deal.
Well, not only that, if you've got a quarterback, this is the biggest part of it for me. Let's say he does go to Vegas. They don't have to pay, they get to pay all the other guys around him.
Yeah, that's right.
And
with their extra 30 million in the salary cap too.
Yeah, that's the big part of it for the Broncos if he ends up staying in the AFC West is it allows the Raiders to build around him. And Russell Wilson, is he what he used to be? No. Is he completely awful, like just god awful, unplayable? No. But if he's got a great O-line, some good wide receivers around him, this just in. You assemble a lot of talented guys around a quarterback, usually they play at a pretty high level. So we'll see. Maybe he ends up in New England or wherever, but it can't be fun for the Broncos.
No. Well, all of a sudden, he becomes one of the most sought after players in the NFL because of that price tag. You know, he typically you would see.
Can you be one of the most sought after players in the NFL if a team is willing to just say we are going to take an $85 million hit because we just don't want you in the building?
If you're a Super Bowl winning quarterback that can play for the league minimum, yes.
Okay. Fair
but
enough.
any other position, probably not. You know, but I understand that. Trust me, not a Russell Wilson fan sitting right here, but you can't avoid the fact of this is why the teams that have the rookie quarterback, San Francisco, that's on the rookie contract, Burrow whenever he was first at Cincinnati, Russell Wilson at Seattle, those deals, whenever you have a quarterback that is paid far below what their market value is because of whatever the circumstances may be, it affords you the ability to really bolster your roster. And I mean, for Oakland or for New England or for wherever he ends up, you can really set the table with your roster for whoever your long-term quarterback's going to end up being.
Yeah. I just if if he can just tone down the whatever you want to call it, the cheesiness.
Cheesiness, weirdness,
Yeah, just
awkwardness.
just just tone it down just a little bit. If you're playing on a minute, and this is the reality of it for Russell Wilson. Would you rather have a rookie quarterback that hasn't played a single snap in the NFL or a guy that at this point in his career has seen it all? There's a massive learning curve at the quarterback position in the National Football League. And it's not like the guy is a bad guy or anything like that. He's just seems like he's a weirdo. So can he be a bridge guy somewhere for a year or two while a young guy develops underneath him? I don't know. I don't know if Russell Wilson would thrive in that type of situation, but teams are going to want him because there's a lot worse options out there at quarterback.
And just listening to him, it sounds like he's going to have some motivation too, which maybe he was lacking a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
But Denver feeling the effects of that very poor contract decision.
they went 11-19 in his 30 games, but never forget this, Ted. The Broncos owners, they own Walmart. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, didn't even notice the outgoing checks they were sending to Russell Wilson.
Eight, 85 million. Yeah, just hey, would you bump up the Oreos just like a fifth of a cent?
That's a
Yeah,
good
that should
point.
take care of that.
We can blame the inflation and sticker shock at the grocery store. We can blame that on Russell Wilson.
Shrinkflation. Why Russell Wilson is the main cause of it. My article. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, attention business owners, you need Insurica in your life. Insurica is one of the country's largest insurance brokers with 30 offices throughout Oklahoma, Texas, and the Southwest. Insurica is able to customize programs by accessing the latest information from many insurance carriers. They compare and contrast coverage offerings and pricing in order to design a cost-effective, comprehensive program to meet your business's specific needs. If your business partners with Insurica, you'll save huge amounts of money and take back control of your total cost of risk. If your business wants to be best in class, connect with Insurica at insurica.com. That's INSURICA.com.
And head to opolisclothing.com for our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's OPOLIS clothing.com. Use promo code TED, TED, for 10% off. That's opolisclothing.com. Use promo code TED for 10% off. Buttery soft and 10% off.
For my winner of the week, thought about going with Mike Evans, maybe connected to that old salary cap increase. 2-year, $52 million extension. Really, I'm just hoping that means Baker's next.
I know. Kind of feels that way. There's been reports saying that something's coming maybe as early as today.
Hopefully, by the time people are listening to this, Baker has gotten a fat new contract from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But we'll see. But my winner of the week, Jason Kelce. I mean, I hate it that he's retiring. But just a hell of a career, man. 13 seasons all in Philly. Went to the Pro Bowl 7 times, first team All Pro 6 times, won a Super Bowl. He's my favorite center of all time. And he did not disappoint with the speech. First of all, I am a crier. Like in a situation like that, I am a crier as well. And that man, there was just tears before he even got started. Tears. And I loved the amount of emotion in that, expressing his love for football the way that he did in a poetic way. Man, I just was talking about the dew on the grass, and it was very cool. Sprinkled in some great stories. There was the proper amount of cussing, a great Nick Foles joke that absolutely killed it. Ted, the speech was everything I was hoping it would be. I'm going to watch. I'm going to miss watching that guy play just because the amount of respect I have just how the way he played the position, but he's got an incredibly bright future in broadcasting and in podcasting. I think he's going to be just fine, but I don't know. Felt like the NFL got a little less fun when Jason Kelce called it a career.
Yeah. I, it's great. And he is a guy that is, he's entertaining. He's must watch television. All right. And it's rare, and he does it in a good way, a fun way. Um, yeah, he's going to be able to transition into really whatever he wants to do next. But the ability to step away, and have your health and things like that. Like my wife is like, uh, don't you feel horrible? I was like, yeah, I feel horrible for him, but it's also he's doing what every football player ever has wanted the ability to do, is to step away on your own terms, right? Not be forced out because you can't make a team, forced out because of injury or circumstances, forced out because you just don't have it anymore. I mean, he's leaving the game as the best center in the game. All right. That's ultimately what you want to do in life, is go out on top, and he's doing it. And I was kind of laughing to myself. It's probably that damn quarterback sneak that's really got him wanting to retire, right?
The tush push
Oh my
led.
God.
That was the nudge he needed for retirement.
You get dog piled by, 3,500 pounds of football players about 10 times a game. No, thank you.
I just, I have so much respect for him. Did you see the post and I'm not sure if the guy was an athletic trainer or if he was their physical therapist. Do you see that post?
I did not.
So this guy, he had taped Kelce his entire career. And when he blew out his knee early in his career, did his rehab. And so this is a guy, you know how it goes. He's taping his hands, his thumbs, his ankles every single day for over 10 years. And the guy had to miss some games this season because he's going through chemo.
Mm.
And he said Jason Kelce hit him up and was like, "Hey man, I want you to tape my ankles for the retirement press conference." I mean, how
Oh,
cool is that, man?
thinks
That
about everything.
that's I think that tells you everything you need to know about that guy as a human being. It's also kind of hilarious that he's walking up there with taped ankles. So it's
Hey,
perfect.
how crucial is it to find the right person to tape your ankles and everything? Like, and if you show up there and they're not there, like that's maybe the best thing about being a veteran, is being able to get up on the table whenever you want with whoever you want to tape you, because it is every person's fear to show up into the training room before practice and who typically tapes them is not there.
Oh, an incredible amount of anxiety. What do you mean he's sick? No, no. And that is something people may not realize. And it can happen in college, but not to the same extent as it does in the NFL. Jason Kelce walks into the training room there in Philly. Whoever is on the table getting taped by his guy gets off the table and he gets on. So it
And
works.
the clock is ticking for practice to start too.
Yeah.
Like if you're standing there in line and then it's like, oh my gosh, has hopefully all the vets have already been taped. It's yeah, there's panic time.
But Kelsey's the real winner of the week because I think every network's going to want him. I would love to hear him in the booth because former offensive linemen are just drastically underrepresented on broadcasts. But I think he's a studio show guy. I don't know where he's going to end up. I read that CBS has some openings and that they're going to go hard after him. I'm sure ESPN and NBC will both go hard after him as well. I don't know. He did the documentary thing on Amazon this season, so I wonder if there's a natural relationship already started there. And then this really got my wheels turning because I'm a weirdo. I listen to Amazon Music. Like I don't use I don't use Apple Music. I use Amazon Music. I don't know. It just started years ago when it was part of your Amazon Prime thing and just haven't stopped. And a lot of Amazon Music, like the podcast, will be ad free versions on Amazon Music.
Mhm.
Last time I checked, he's got a very popular podcast with his brother. Could there be a deal where it all gets worked in? Amazon says, hey, we want to own the Kelce brothers. Jason, you're going to do this for us for Thursday Night Football. The podcast is coming under the Amazon Music umbrella. Travis will negotiate a deal once you're ready to be done playing. I don't know. Jeff
No,
Bezos is only now again back to being the richest guy in the world, so he may be able to make it work.
I I think that that's a very good, just like a all encompassing deal. Honestly, because of the Taylor Swift thing, and maybe their podcast, it'll lose some of its luster that it's got going on right now. But I bet the numbers on that, he doesn't have to do anything anyways, but I bet they are making a killing on that with all the people that listen.
They definitely better be because they are consistently number one on the Apple football charts. Over, pardon my take, which is that that thing is a behemoth. So it'll be
Well, when
interesting
I
to see
say
where it
doing
all
really
goes.
well, I'm talking like 9-figure price tag well.
I would I think it's worth I'm trying to decide if it's all wrapped into one deal, they're getting a ton.
Yeah. They may make more in like 1 or 2 years than they made their whole career in football.
Yeah, we'll see. But it was also Kelce night at the Cleveland Cavaliers game, and they came back from a 22-point fourth quarter deficit to beat the Celtics. So just a great stretch there for Jason Kelce. Now, my loser of the week, and I don't know if it's a big deal or not. Arch Manning. Anwar Richardson from Orange Bloods reported that multiple people had told him that Arch Manning will not opt into being in the college football video game. ESPN talked to some people. Mark Schlabach talked to some people that confirmed that. Ted, I don't want to overreact to this. I want you to help me understand why Arch Manning wouldn't want to be in the video game. I don't because I'm trying to find a reason why. It's now if you want to tell me, hey, he thinks his name is more valuable than that, and he opted out to start a negotiation, then fine. Okay. But other than that, man, this stuff that he wants to focus on football or he wants to wait till he's the guy. Dude, who cares? I just don't understand. I don't know if this is a big deal. I just don't understand why you create this distraction for your team. It was on the front page of everything when all this stuff came out. And I just don't understand why you do it if you're Arch Manning.
I There's no reason to, and I'm guessing that it probably didn't have anything to do with Arch Manning, unfortunately. Like, fortunately or unfortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Um, Someone probably told him not to do it, right? So I don't know. And the line about just focusing on playing football, you created a massive distraction. Right? Being in a video game is not a distraction. It does not change any of your focus from playing on the field. Now, I like his name is valuable, maybe. I
Oh,
Right
there's no
now,
baby. He
well,
he has more name recognition than any other player in college football.
he does, but
Now he hasn't done anything.
that's kind of my point. Is he's got name recognition, not because of anything that he's done, because of his uncles
Well,
and
it's
his
very similar to
grandpa.
Bronny James in college basketball. There's
Mhm.
all this Bronny James discourse when is he going to enter the draft, all this stuff. We all know he shouldn't enter the draft with what he is as a player, but it feels kind of similar to that in my mind.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, uh, he it's a disservice to his name if that's what like the claim is. It's more valuable. Well, nobody is going to miss a beat that Arch Manning is not in the NCAA game. And if EA Sports negotiates anything other than the $600 or whatever it was that every other guy got for him, they are the dumbest people ever. They don't lose anything from that. Nothing. Zero. It changes nothing about the video game or who's going to purchase it, who's going to watch it, none of that if he doesn't sign on. If they pay him more, all they do is open the door for every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there to hold out and have some negotiation about how much their name is worth. They absolutely should not, under any circumstances, pay him anything more than what they pay anyone else.
In the grand scheme of things, I don't think this is a big deal. But I don't think it's a good PR decision for Arch Manning.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it helps him in any way to not be on the video game. And I realize Arch Manning's name it's got more value than probably every other college football player. Now the guy hasn't played, but I just think this is an unnecessary mistake from whoever is making this decision, whether it's Arch or his representation.
What percentage chance do you put it on it being Arch's decision?
What guy doesn't want to be in a video game?
None. Nobody.
Who doesn't want to sub themselves into a video game?
Nobody.
So my thing is it makes a story out of something that shouldn't be a story.
And it
And it's gonna
probably
keep
makes
coming
him
up.
mad. It probably makes him mad that whoever gave him that advice.
Like if you're
And
trying to
it's
lay low and work on your game and get stronger and develop, you don't do this because then people aren't talking about you. And this is going to come up again and again. It's going to come up again when the game gets released. What
I can
happens if
hear
viewers gets
people
hurt during the season? It's going to be another talking point. He's not on the game.
I can hear people loading the jokes into the t-shirt launcher, like it's like a
The,
Gatling gun.
yeah.
I can hear people loading the Arch Manning jokes into that if he comes out and has a poor performance, right? Oh, no wonder you didn't want to be on the game. Like it's just gonna. They've created a problem when there was no reason to.
And I hate when people do that.
Yeah. And again, I feel bad for him because I don't think at all this had anything to do with him.
We don't know that, but it doesn't see what is he, 19, 20, maybe? I can't imagine being that old and not really. If he had started for them last year and said, hey, you guys may want to pay me a little more, you may want to put me on the cover. Like that type of situation, okay. But for a guy that didn't play any significant snaps, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, man.
What would you
I don't
think?
know.
All right, if you're in the locker room, let's say there's 100 guys in there, and 99 of the guys on the team are going to be in the video game, have opted in, they got their $600, everyone's excited about it. But there's one guy that was like, and he's a backup quarterback, by the way, who's like, nah, I'm above being in a video game. How would that go over?
Like I said, I don't think this decision helps him in any way.
I know. I know it.
He misses out on the money in the free game. He doesn't get to play with himself, like that sounded play as
Yes.
himself, play
Boom.
as himself in the game. And he doesn't get to share that with his teammates. I don't understand it. And once again, is it a big deal? No, but it's Arch Manning, so never mind. It is a big deal because it's Arch Manning. And I just don't understand whoever made this decision. I don't understand why they made that decision. I'm trying to understand. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I'm too stupid. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.